All right, hello everybody. Welcome to VR Master League here on Friday. Winding down the week, winding down the season here in week 12, the last week of the regular season. And we've got ourselves not a new team, but a new name for a familiar face. That is to say, over on blue team, Nantes Esport, if I'm correct, if I'm not a boy. But yes, changing just as of this morning, and formerly known as Fusion. Coming up against Phantoms here. But good to see more esport orgs taking interest. I was briefly briefed just before this match. Coming into it. Yeah, French organization here for Nantes Esport. Or NES for short, as I was told I can call it. Right, coming in with a roster here, Frogio, Alicos, Bad Internet, and Swift. Of course, Swift, one of our new casters on the team. Meanwhile, for Phantoms, over on orange side, it's Torin, Sundance, Nillywick, and Maddie. Coming in with the 22-0 record. Extremely strong here season, trying to finish off in just so strong of a fashion as the first launch does come out here. So it'll be Swift taking the disc for Nantes and going to the midfield. Actually, Nillywick immediately slinging it, but a tap right back out again. And then back to the hands there of Torin and Sundance. As they go for the boost, they go for the shot just off the dot and to the side. So we have a few matches here for you today over on VRML Channel 1, as well as Team Gravity versus Quackheads. And then following this shot by Maddie, we'll actually be following Phantoms back to VRML Channel 1 and streaming a match there between Phantoms and Team Gravity. So a lot going on today. And then later on in North America as well, we have a handful of matches. So a lot to look forward to for sure. Froggy with the disc here over in the mid lane, trying to maybe get it back, but Torin instead. The interception, hands it up to Nillywick. Nillywick will have the 3-point shot. And a minute into play, it's 5 points here for the Phantoms. Yeah, I'm curious. We'll have to get some more info over the former Team Fusion here. Learn about Nantes a little bit. And Frogio will take that disc, trying to find the short-range pass over to Bad Internet. He'll roll to the side, the tunnel here, and just trying to evade the stack. You can see how strong it is for Phantoms, and getting blocked there, or getting broken up, I should say, as they continue to just roll and going for the goal. But Torin will snuff that one out, get the clear, and ultimately get the boost right down midfield. But first to it is Bad Internet. Of course, Bad Internet BTW, the newer player here to the team, not to the league, however. We've seen him play in preseason, part of Toxic Units, and Season 1 played half of it, or maybe more than half of it, as one of the Jesters. But now joined League Subs for a few weeks, and then found himself a home here on Nantes. So over to Torin, Sundance as well, and there's extra passing that always buys Phantoms just a ton of goals, and which is why they're finding themselves in the position that they are, maybe trying to close out this season undefeated. Of course, they still got some ways to go in terms of going into the postseason, but this is the final week of the regular season at the very least, and Phantoms trying to finish with that already unprecedented record. But nonetheless, over here for NES, trying to go back for the disc in the side tunnel, will be Sundance coming away with it and just slinging it off to the side, trusting that his stack might be able to get there first. And they do, as a matter of fact. So there's Torin finding himself the goal off the stun goalie. Swift was in there. I think it was Nilly there and trying to just bother the goalie. And did so successfully. So on this launch, NES will launch out here. Frogio with a disc, a quick pass. Going to be a little dangerous working around that stack, but getting broken up again. And there's a double stack, always the problem for Phantoms. More, like, still as the season has gone on, it's as this pass goes through here, Torin, an extra handoff actually, maybe going for the barrier play, or just trying to get a stun on the goalie. Either or. Extra patience, And at the feet, planting the shot, Sundance. But yes, over time we're seeing every week, even since preseason, that double stack from Phantoms, whether they're Phantoms or whether they're Backlash. Phantoms are another one of those teams who have joined up with Esport org. Phantoms, the org based in Spain, and just a lot of interest coming in over in North America too. We see Team Infinite there as we get a shot just missing from Nilly. But a lot of other outside orgs taking interest in Echo lately, and a lot of interest in Echo in general as of late. Of course, with the Quest version coming along the way, closed beta coming out this on Monday, and new waves coming out each morning. There's a whole lot of excitement surrounding Arena right now and Echo VR. Now, almost getting the goal. That would have been an exciting one there to get the first couple of points. But just back tapping it out, Torin. I really like the soft passing plays there from Nilly. He knew Torin wasn't really anchored in the goal, so he threw a very, very soft initial pass. But there's a very, very fast initial stack from Swift and Alikos, splitting apart here, trying to dodge through it. Kind of pass fake, maybe a mistake, as it will get taken back by Torin. Ultimately in the back line, that is. So receiving those back passes and just playing that position very well. Now over here on the sideline, right in the outside corner, will be Maddie backing it out to Torin. And the spacing, always a thing of beauty when you watch Phantoms. But especially more over the weeks as Torin gets a score. Especially more and more over the weeks too. We've seen a lot of that from NES, aka Fusion, formerly known as. And I dare say teams in general across the board, doesn't matter which region. There are probably 10 different teams that I can name seeing supremely notable improvements on both regions in terms of that passing play and the positioning. And really kind of following the mold that I would say, especially in the 4v4 meta, teams like Phantoms, Team Gravity, Illuminati, and Infinite, if you're looking back at preseason started, for sure. Swift having it saved there by Torin coming in from that corner. So Torin just denying that first attempt at a potential goal, which is always rough because it was a pretty close-up shot, but for Phantoms, just the talent of Torin inside that goal, not allowing anything even from just a meter out. Very tough. That said, that shot is going to be right on line for the three-point hit. I mean, right in the middle of the goal just about as well. What a big shot for Phantoms and for Nillywick. Softly off the backboard, 4 meters per second, but just worked its way in. Yeah, I think especially in Season 1, you're seeing a lot of the teams catching up as Maddie just catches up for another three-point shot. It's 19 here for Phantoms now, maybe eyeing that mercy with just 1 point away. I would say definitely in preseason, it was over in Europe, it was Phantoms and Team Gravity kind of first to secure what that 4v4 meta looked like. Over in North America, I would say it was Illuminati and Infinite, also known as Synapse at the time. But they were the ones who really nailed down that meta early on. But now into the season 1 here, we've really just seen all the rest of the teams kind of start to join up on that meta and throw in their own variations as a shot is thrown in from Nillywick. Will just barely miss their dinging and taken out by Alikos, who will clear that out, but only intercepted by Sundance, who does throw the 3-shot, and that will conclude this first round at 22 points with that 32-meter shot from Sundance. So not the first round debut that NES wanted, granted, but it's not an unexpected one, just given the ridiculousness of the Phantoms this season. Again, just They are the only team through all 12 weeks now across either regions, across 40-plus teams in the league that have played in Season 1. I mean, just not falling. They've come close a few times. They've been taken to round 3 a few times for Phantoms. And there have been some individual rounds 1s and 2s, where you will see them contested rather close. I mean, the other day when we saw Phantoms play there, they played against Vibers. The second round of that game also went pretty close for a bit there. But it's just every single time you think maybe Phantoms are a team that can bleed, they just somehow pull on through, and they're just looking all kinds of dangerous. And they're a team who's that record, it's very likely to hold for quite a long time. So for Nantes, for Esport, not Esport here, the NES, they're just going to try and have a successful second round and, you know, keep the margins as close as possible. But it is, again, a mountain of a task here for any team in any division and any league. As that deep shot just barely missing, a bad internet will rebound it, but slinging it to Nillywick, that great positioning again, and the immediate pass. That was a great one, just immediately recognizing the open player and manages to squeeze it through before the defense could really accommodate and gather their bearings. So 2 points for Phantoms here, about 20 seconds into that first initial joust. And we'll continue on with round 2. Again, mentioning the, Disc getting knocked out there. Mentioning on VRML 1, we'll be joining Sir Dimwee for that Team Gravity and Phantoms match after this. Now, meanwhile, Torin over on the wedge will get the disc and back it out again. You can see that positioning back line. Frequent resetters here for Phantoms, never afraid to just play it slowly if they need to, and then look for the open lanes. That's kind of another thing that is big credit to them, is just the fact that, you know, with all the success over the season, you figured maybe they can, you know, they'll take it easy at some point. They'll be lax, but no, they have not. They've really stuck to their game. At no point do you really see them getting overly lax with their gameplays. They do go in for the backboard play. Just walking it in is Nillywick. Because sometimes you do see teams, I won't name names, but sometimes you do see teams, you know, if they pull ahead or if they're you know, in a match where they're feeling super comfortable, they get comfortable. You can tell in their gameplay, and they'll start going for excessive style and things like that. But for Phantoms, really, it's with very few exceptions, they execute kind of the same way on any given match and on any given play. You know, they stick to their fundamentals as often as possible. Now for NES, they've been working on said fundamentals to a lot of good success. You know, really picking up some more and more wins here in the latter half of the season. But definitely their toughest test as of yet. Just the mere fact that they would get matched against the Phantoms here. I mean, you know, it's just a testament. But over here, Torin, he's going to be looking for that score. Eyes the passing play maybe to Maddie. Even freezing the defense for a bit, because it looked like he was about to go to that pass, but instead just opted for the shot. That's a move that Torin does a lot of as well. Or not Torin, rather. Nillywick does a lot of as well. He'll go for the drives into goal, and he'll give a little look away. Sometimes to the side or to the backboard, just to trick the defense into thinking that maybe he's about to pass it, lull them to sleep, and then he'll shoot it. Kind of reminiscent, in a sense, of Grumpiest Broom over in North America, playing on Flare. Who he doesn't really do the lookaways so much, but he does do an awful lot of fakes. Probably more than anyone else in the entire league, in fact. But Torin here with a disc from that bottom corner is going to anchor down for the attempted 3. And partially assisted by Maddie there as well, stunning the goalie just in case. And that's going to be 9 points here for Phantoms. As NES will launch out again, lining up their joust with about 6.5 left to play in the second round. So Frogio hands it over to Bad Internet, getting stunned off at the midline. Quick tap to that back stack and the immediate clear. Over there, Torin gets the goal for 3, and there's the dangers of that double stack. And if it weren't for the ping and things like that, this is why I would be super curious to see Phantoms playing in a sanctioned game between them and one of the NA teams, be it Team Joker, the '1 seed over in North America, or King, who is really not far behind, sharing the same record as Joker at the moment, I do believe. 19 and 3 off the top of my head. So just interesting stuff here as the Sundance goes for the pass to Nilly. He'll duck under through for the move. But yeah, I'm very curious because we don't see a lot of this in North America. We see a decent amount of it in Europe, from Phantoms especially, but those double stacks constantly connected together and not only able to bother heavily in the midline, but in the event that the disc does go onto their side of the floor and they have to defend, they also get back quickly. So they're able to really play super aggressive on defense, but still cover off the goal. Just as well covering off that goal with another three-pointer for the 17th one. But I don't have any good answers at this point how to deal with Phantoms. You know, in the past I would say you have to play super aggressively on them on defense and really force them to make the passes up early instead of letting them work it anywhere near the bubble. But even then, it's just they've gotten so much better over the weeks of accommodating for that. Their three-point accuracy has definitely improved from where it was in the mid-season when they were struggling at times. So I don't really know what to say at this point. It is tough to deal with. Team Gravity will have to deal with it next, and we'll see how it works out for them. But it's just gonna be interesting. See, Boop in the chat, they're saying Phantoms look good because EU is bad. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I mean, less teams than overall, so I would say the overall average skill level and such like is going to be in NA's advantage. But there are some definitely great teams in EU, and the meta is they do some things better than NA in my opinion, as that round does end off a Phantom's shot here. Like, I do think the stacks are still better, especially the double stack offense, which you just do not see in NA. Still, that whole clear and boost meta, or sometimes the I'm not sure what you call those rollouts, the ones where you basically clear and boost, but a very controlled one. I don't see that from NA a lot. I think, Phantoms would not be defeated in North America, but I also don't think they would be outside of the top 4. Like in North America, I still think they would be top 4. Top 3 perhaps, dependent. So I don't know. That's just my take on that though. Like I would still be super curious to see how they would handle in a LAN setting again. Team Joker or King Gorillas. Obviously that matchup from Leicester LAN for the ESL finals in season 3 last year. That one was very interesting and close between King and Backlash at the time, now known as Phantoms. But I would love to see like a true, best of 5 or something, 10 minutes, 4-on-4, because it's a very different game than it was 1 year ago, and very, very different configurations now that it's 4v4. So I don't know. Well, yeah. Moop saying, let's see, the format suits Phantoms right now. Only one team that has a chance of beating them. I mean, Team Gravity, we'll see them right next, and that could be definitely the case. I'm still curious if we're going to see some form of blast in the open qualifiers, the Challenger Cup. Never know. And Smash Dash as well. If they're playing at 100%, Phantoms needs to also play at 100%, or otherwise Smash Dash, I think. Like there's, Phantoms definitely the favorites going into the postseason, but kind of like the preseason, you never know what might happen, I suppose, just depending on how the playoffs, the finals go. So it'll be interesting. But I'm hopeful too. We'll see the increase in development from all these teams here in Europe, and especially with the Quest version, seeing more going to season 2. Definitely, even just in the Quest chat late night last night, late night for me anyway, seeing a lot of activity in there from European Quest players. So might take a little time, but we're gonna see more people coming on in. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna check over with Channel 1 real quick and see if that game is still ongoing, because we will be diverting otherwise. Yeah, so it still is a Team Gravity currently with 1 round won against Quackheads and 2.5 left in the second round. So with that said, I'm going to close off this stream and actually redirect you guys. You do so please over to channel 1. We'll be joining Sir Dimwee there and doing the Phantoms versus Team Gravity game momentarily. So join me for that one, and we'll see you again real soon here. It's Phantoms will improve down to 23-0, and for Nantes Esports NES, we will be 8-17. And just trying to finish out the season strong for Phantoms going on next. Interested in seeing this matchup, so see you again shortly.